I used to wake up every morning absolutely convinced I needed more hours. If I could just steal a couple extra, everything would finally get done. My projects would move forward, my life would fall into place. Here's the embarrassing part. I had more than enough time. I was just throwing it away. And the moment I actually saw that, changed everything. I want to share the exact mindset shift that turned me from "I don't have time" into someone who gets more done than I ever thought possible. It sounds simple, maybe absurdly simple, but stay with me. This one cut deep. One day, I was complaining to a friend. "I'm so busy, I need like a 30-hour day." He looked at me, raised an eyebrow, and asked, "How many hours were you on your phone yesterday?" I guessed an hour. He opened his phone, showed me the screen time app, and said, "Check yours." 5 hours. 5 hours of mindless scrolling, random videos, forgettable articles, games I didn't even enjoy. I sat there feeling like I'd been caught stealing from myself, because that's exactly what it was. I wasn't short on hours, I was stealing them, and then whining I didn't have enough. That's when it clicked. It wasn't a time problem, it was a priorities problem, pretending to be a time problem. Everyone successful has the same 24 hours. No secret extra hour exists. The difference isn't some mystical discipline gene, it's a different relationship with time. Most of us treat time like weather, something that happens to us. I don't have time. That's a trap. The mindset that freed me was this: time isn't something you find or have, it's something you make. You create time by deciding what you won't do. After that conversation, I tried an experiment. For 1 week, I wrote down everything I did, every single thing. Eating, working, scrolling, watching TV, chatting, staring into space. At the end of the week, I wanted to cry. I'd wasted hours, literally hours, on stuff that didn't matter and wouldn't even be remembered next week. I discovered over an hour every morning lost to bed scrolling, 7 hours a week, hours glued to shows I didn't even like, hours in conversations that went nowhere, hours refreshing feeds as if the next swipe would change my life, and the sneakiest waste, procrastination and expensive packaging. I need to check my email first. I should organize my desk. All just elaborate delays so I wouldn't start the actual work. So I made a rule. Treat time like money. If someone asked to borrow cash, you'd ask why and if it's worth it. But with time, we hand it out for free. A mediocre show? Take a few hours. An app designed to hook you? Here's my evening. A stranger asking for just 5 minutes? Sure, take 30. From then on, every request for my time had to pass the money test. Would I pay for this? Would I hand over cash to scroll social for an hour or pay to sit through a show I don't enjoy? No. Then why was I paying with something far more precious, my life? I started asking one brutal question for everything. Is this worth my life? Because time isn't an abstract resource. It literally is your life. When you spend an hour, you're spending part of your existence you can never get back. Is an hour of scrolling worth that? Is 3 hours of a mediocre show worth it? Is saying yes to something you don't want to do worth your evening? That question forces honesty. Most of what fills our days isn't worth a slice of our lives. It's easy, comfortable, or a way of avoiding harder, meaningful work. But once you ask, you begin protecting your time like the asset it is. Okay, new mindset, now what? I made a list. Real goals, the projects I'd regret not doing, the relationships and experiences that mattered. Then I checked my calendar. Nothing of real value was scheduled. My week was full of other people's priorities and filler. The important stuff was supposed to happen when I had time, which is never. You don't find time, you take it. So I scheduled the important stuff first. I treated those blocks like unmissable meetings. Everything else fit around them or didn't happen. People called it rigid. What's actually crazy is assuming free time will appear while you spend your days on other people's demands. Within a month, my life shifted. I finished a project that had stalled for months. I started working out regularly. I finally learned that skill I kept saying I'd learn someday. Weirdly, I had more free time, not because I worked harder, but because I stopped doing the garbage that filled my days before. I cut most social media, quit passive TV watching, and said no to misaligned requests. Suddenly, time showed up. So here's my challenge. Track your time for 1 week. Be ruthless and honest. Write down what you actually do. Then ask, is this how I want to spend my life? Because that's what's happening. Every hour is a piece of your existence you trade for whatever you're doing right now. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start choosing differently. You'll protect your time. You'll build the life you actually want instead of letting life happen to you. You don't need more hours. You need to protect the time you have.
If you want help making this real, I put a productivity planner in the description. It's how I track my time, prioritize what matters, and keep my calendar aligned with my goals. It might be exactly what you need. If this resonated, hit like, subscribe for more practical ways to actually get your life together, and tell me in the comments what's the biggest time waster you're cutting out this week. Thanks for listening. Remember, you don't need more time. You need to protect the time you have.